Hey, good day, good morning, and good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time you're watching this throughout your day. Today I wanted to share about a personal experience that I went through recently. And this personal experience helped me in a way to want to be able to share and to give back for people to understand your triggers and how important it is to understand your triggers from others so that you can recognize where you need to heal from in your life. And this is why we have triggers that set people off, is because of pain and suffering that you've lived through on some level. And there's going to be 3 scenarios I'm going to give for an example to teach from. So the first one I'll do for myself. Years ago, before I was healed, when I seen men abusing women in any way, shape, or form, I would lose my mind. There were times I went out to house parties when I was younger to beat men up, or they weren't men at that time, we were much younger then. But because they were abusing a friend of mine's sister, or just seeing, one time I witnessed about 10, 11 years ago, a man beating a woman outside on the road, and it triggered me because I wasn't fully healed from my past of what I went through. And then I would go to the extreme measure of beating up that man because of them abusing a woman, right? So I would react when I was triggered, when I would see the event of a woman being put down or being beaten especially, or hit. I would go to aggression, I would turn to coldness because I was not healed to handle it in a different manner. Now today I would heal, I have a deeper understanding on why that man is abusing that woman, because they're suffering from what was done to them and they haven't been healed yet. So I have a different outlook, I have a different view on all of it. But I have more of compassion for even those who hurt another, because I know why they're hurting another is because they've been hurt in life. Now, another scenario using a relationship of a past friend of mine. Her as well, she had emotional damage, from a friend, from her father when she was younger. And I had a drink and now I can feel it, about to have a hiccup. But in her past, and now I might have 20, 30 friends or 40 friends or 50, 60, 70, however many see this, you might relate to it and think, oh, is he talking about me? But we've all went through these experiences, even myself, with my, what I witnessed and went through as a child, right? But something happened to her with her father, and she has never healed from it. And I tried to help her, but she was not ready. She was just not ready to heal from this. She was not ready to face. It's not ready for her to face it. So because of that, she has felt at times that she becomes cold, and she doesn't understand why. And I tried to help her, but it just wasn't her time. But she was triggered through an event that was similar to something that she went through, even though it was different. It was not the same. But because she wasn't healed, it triggered her to become instantly cold because of the hurt and pain of our past, right? Things will happen. Even though you think it's okay to sweep things under the rug, it's always going to be a part of you, and it's always going to affect you in a certain way. And then again, if you have pain and suffering within you, your spiritual body will actually align to another being who is not fully healed either. This is how it works. And throughout that relationship, she will end up seeing the other person is going to have things that they need to heal that's causing their relationship to have issues as well. Until hopefully they unite together and want to grow together in healing and doing the work together, because it's so important when we find relationships to do the work together and to grow, always wanting to grow to be better, because it's never going to end until the day we die. To think you're perfect today and this is it, I don't need to do no work, well, then there's going to be some denial over that. And then before I get to the third one, I'm always very cautious of how I try to present the information, because it is personal experiences. And for most of you who watch me or watch my videos, you've known me long enough to understand that I always come from a good place and I never put other people down, but I use these personal experiences to uplift and to help more people to understand on the areas that you need to work in, because this is for all of us. You know, I never commented, but I seen a post of someone saying that they're a narcissist, but they had the most perfect life. You know, my father used to say the same thing. He had a perfect life. And, you know, this other person, though I didn't say anything, but they're in denial. And they're saying things in denial. There are always going to be things that happen to them that condition their mind and shape and form them from hurt and pain. And if they're in denial about it, then their healing process won't happen until they overcome that first stage, and that is not being in denial about it. But so the third one was a lady who reached out to me, and it was through ignorance, and I'm very grateful for it, because of the last video I did sharing to help people understand, to recognize the importance of seeing signs and feeling your gut feeling when things don't feel right going into relationships. Sorry, I don't want you guys hearing that. So as she reached out to me, and again, if something has triggered you and you don't like me in some way or like something I said, this is the perfect example. Why? There's something that I said that triggered you from something that happened a long time ago that you haven't healed from. And this is the whole point of what I'm sharing, is to understand. Because if you're open and at a place to hear what I'm teaching right now, and you hear the message of what I'm saying, you will be enlightened moving forward into your life, of at least having it in the back of your mind, to understanding that, oh, I need to think deep. Why am I judging this person? Why am I upset at this person? I don't know this person, but I'm not liking him. I'm not liking her. Right there, that's the time where you need to think why, and really think back to where you were hurt when you were younger, and these are the areas that you need to work on. Because once you work on these areas, your life is going to change in the most beautiful way. You're going to attract people who are more healed as well, who aren't suffering where you need to learn hard lessons because they haven't grown yet. You will attract better people into your life, or more healed. I don't want to use the term better, because we're all in different stages of our growth and learning. But for the last lady, she had reached out for my video, and the only thing she noticed, and you know, I try my best to think about the words that I use, because I don't want it to offend anyone, and I'm only using my personal experience to uplift, to help you, the viewer who is watching me, to have a deeper understanding so you can heal your life, and this is why I use it. But she noticed that I brought up in one of my last videos that I brought up, I said the girl was about 25 pounds heavier. Now, I made it very clear weight had nothing to do with it. And I made it very clear she was still very beautiful, but it was the deceitfulness was my point, that, you know, she promised me that she would go on Zoom and see me every day, but she kept putting it off. And I felt like something was wrong. And that was my point for that, was that I was being deceived. And then when I met her, if I trusted my gut feeling on something was wrong, on why she would never go live when she would tell me each day she will, it was because she was hiding her weight that she gained. And again, I didn't care about her weight. You know, if she didn't lie, I'd probably be in a relationship right now if she didn't lie about those few things, because my core values come from a very deep level of openness and honesty. And if someone doesn't align to that right off the bat, then it's not going to work. But she reached out and she pointed out right away that I shouldn't be shaming women on their weight, and that wasn't my message. But this is someone who has never followed me, who just glanced through my page, and I didn't realize that I thought for sure I had friends only, so only the people on my page were friends, so I had to switch that. But that's the only thing she noticed from the whole message. So she never heard the message. I need a drink. So she never heard my message that I was, because of past hurt and pain for her. And she's a very beautiful woman. I looked at her page, very spiritual. But that trigger went straight to the consciousness of her mind of past pain and suffering, where someone shamed her in some way. right? In some way, I'm not going to say exactly, but I do know it's from hurt and pain in the past. And then to further what she tried to do even more was to bully me. You can't bully me. I've been bullied in my life, in my past, where I've grown so much, you just can't affect me in a negative way. But then she went to point out how, my grammar sometimes, you are, she pointed out, you need to learn this stuff or you're not going to look professional. She tried to give me pointers on being polite, and I thanked her for it, because I wasn't going to go to her level of hurt and pain, but to give more love. And then also pointing out other things that I should be doing that I'm not, right? So it was a trigger for her to hear that about the weight and the numbers, which again, that wasn't my message. And, I feel bad that one person reached out. And if anyone else felt that way, I do apologize, because I thought I made it very clear. It had nothing to do with weight. But anyways, it was from hurt and pain. The trigger of hearing me say that caused her to lash out at me, right? So this message is for everyone, if you're ready to hear my message with what I'm saying, because this is for everyone. There is no exemptions for different people, how it affects. This is an eternal truth for all of us on how we shift our lives for learning and growing. So I hope that there are people that took away from my message today to understand triggers in your life, to understand you need to be healed, to understand that if you don't heal, you're going to keep drawing in relationships where they're not healed, where they're suffering in certain ways, and you're going to have to learn hard lessons from them, right? And the importance of healing yourself, because it's going to change your life in the most beautiful way. And of course, I always have my sessions to heal people as well, from where you might be suffering or stuck with. So that was my message today, my short little message. And again, if you found value and you have friends who are suffering, please share my video with them. So that at least you're aware of what I'm saying. It's in the back of your mind, because just hearing this video and paying attention to it will have made a difference in your life today, if you're open to receiving the message and teaching that I gave today. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and bye for now.